Hello and welcome to Vault 4.
Vault 50?
Oh no, that's not a good one to be in.
Vault 50. Yeah, well, no, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, it depends.
I don't know. Welcome to A Star to Steer Her By, your favorite Star Trek podcast. Today we're here in Vault 4 to discuss not Star Trek, but in fact, Fallout Season 1!
Yeah, prep, because Season 2's coming up, next week?
Yeah, less, just shy of a week from today.
Holy, yeah.
Wait.
So we're reminding ourselves what happened in Season 1, because I had forgotten a lot of this shit.
I've been so desperate for this show to start Season 2 that I've been watching, interviews with people who are in the show, and Chris can tell you, as someone who's known me for over 20 years now, that when it comes to extras on DVDs and shit, that's not me.
Yeah, this is the most obsessed with a property I've seen you.
Yeah, this is it. This is my big one.
More than Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to binge this one.
That's true. There's 8
episodes. Very short.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a little harder,
to be
but not
fair,
much.
I don't know what it is with me and shows, even action shows like this one, where I'll just fall asleep. I tried 3 times, 4 or 5 times this week to watch this show, and I feel like I maybe got through 1 complete episode without falling asleep. And that is not an indictment of the show. It's a very good show.
No, honey, that's your advanced age.
You're just an old man like the rest of us.
I think there's a gas leak behind where Jake sits on the couch.
Yeah.
Chris here in the editing vault. Haha, very funny. Sorry for the slightly awkward cutting in, but the original audio was just kind of screwed up here. Luckily, Caitlin hadn't said much. She was just introducing our characters, and all we lost, it seems, was her saying the name Lucy McLean. So please enjoy the rest of the episode.
Dweller, 33. You have the ghoul / Cooper Howard, who was an actor in the 2070s or whatever, and is now a very old ghoul. And a very hot ghoul. I want to fuck that zombie. Anyway, and then you've got Maximus, who is a member of the Brotherhood who becomes a knight sort of through naughty means. And
I bet all the knights do, though.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I mean, when the guy's like, no, you go into the cave, you know that, Anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
So the basic story is thus. Lucy McLean lives in Vault 33. Vault 33 is connected to 2 other vaults, 31 and 32.
It's way more than 2 sentences.
She
has a process.
I know, I do. And when you interrupt me, you
cause this.
I double the process.
That's correct. Anyway, so let me just get to it. Let me just try to get through it really quick, as quickly as I can. And you can cut it however you want. Don't laugh at me.
What?
I saw you laugh at me. First of all, I'm going to crack a Nuka-Cola, because I'm going to need it.
Nuka-Cola is only sold in bottles.
I know, I don't give a shit. What do you think of that? And we don't actually even see any fucking Nuka-Cola.
We see some machines.
Yeah, actually, dog meat gets put in that Nuka-Cola.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm a
summary.
Sunset Sarsaparilla man myself.
Are you? Very nice. Okay. Anyway, Lucy McLean lives in a vault. Her vault is infiltrated by raiders. Her father is stolen. And she's like, I'm going to go into the wasteland and try to find my dad. There's a scientist in the Enclave, and he has discovered some very important shit. And he escapes the Enclave with that very important shit. And a huge bounty goes out for him. And everybody wants this guy. Because he's stolen a very important artifact. And it's a big fucking deal. So everyone gets sent on the way. This is where the ghoul comes in.
This is Dr. Wilzig. Yeah.
Wilzig, yeah. I don't know why I don't remember that. He's not
really
in it very long.
I think
it is
they
not
say it
Iggy,
maybe
Iggy
once.
Wilzig? What's his first name?
Siggy.
Siggy. Okay, I was close. Siggy. Anyway, Dr. Wilzig, he escapes the Enclave with his dog meat, which is actually S4XO or some shit. He's got some fucking serial number name.
CX404.
That's it.
Species C10.
Yeah, that's
10C.
Fine,
Whatever.
whatever. So he escapes, everybody's after him. This is how the ghoul comes in. The ghoul comes in because some other bounty hunters are like, he's the best bounty hunter, we're gonna dig him up and he's gonna help us find the bounty. But he kills those people and decides to go find the bounty anyway. This is also what brings the Brotherhood in. The Brotherhood is brought in because they hear about this tech and they're always looking for old tech to make the new world great. So they're like, fuck yeah, we're gonna find that guy. Well, the ghoul finds him first in Philly and happens to be there when Lucy is there trying to find her dad, making her way through the wasteland to find her dad. He blows Dr. Wow. Fucking unacceptable.
Sorry, I thought it was
not
already
once, but twice. Can you believe? I'm just kidding. I've done it so many times.
Deeply annoyed.
Well, I have literally no leg to stand on. Speaking of no leg to stand on, Dr.
Wilzig.
What is it?
Wilzig.
Wilzig. Dr. Wilzig gets his leg blown off by the ghoul, and suddenly his trip to Moldaver Town, because that's where he's going, by the way. Moldaver wants his tech, and he's going to go see Moldaver. Moldaver, who it happens, is the one who also kidnapped Lucy's dad. So he's on his way to see Moldaver. The ghoul shoots his fucking leg off, and suddenly his chances of getting to Moldaver are much slimmer. Luckily for us, and not him so much, but the show, the plot, Maximus shows up. And when we first meet Maximus, he's kind of a nobody. When he meets us in Philly, he, through a series of events, has become a knight who has this great mechanical armor. He shows up and is like, fuck you, ghoul. And he and the ghoul fight, which gives them ample time to get shit fixed. That runs the ghoul off. He's gone. Whatever. Lucy now is in charge of Dr. Siggy, and to get him to Moldaver. Unfortunately, he commits suicide on the way and is like, here, just take my head, because he shot the tech into his neck. Mm-hmm. So, just take my head.
It kind of goes from there.
It does. It does go from there.
Eventually, to episode 9.
Yeah.
8. Jinx. Anyway, through a series of events, which maybe we'll get into a little bit more somewhat, I guess, I don't really know. They all get to Moldaver around the same time. She does, in fact, have Lucy's dad. She does, in fact, have a use for the tech in Siggy's head. The ghoul does, in fact, have a history with all these people, including Hank McClane, and that's Lucy's dad. And, Maximus shows up just in time to get his head fucking punched over and to do absolutely no good whatsoever. However, in the scuffle that ensues between the New California Republic and the Brotherhood, Moldaver is killed, and people think that Maximus did it. Just fucking wild. This is like the name of the game for him is just failing upwards.
I think Dane was just being nice to him.
Dane is clearly trying to make stuff happen.
Yeah, Dane is like his evil little vizier who's just going to be pulling. See, that's great, except sooner or later he's going to wind up worm-tonguing it somehow. You know, I'm just saying. I feel for Maximus. I don't know. Dane makes me nervous. I'm just kidding. I love Dane actually. Anyway. They all think Maximus killed Moldaver, so now he's going to be a big deal. And Hank McClane is taken off in some power armor towards New Vegas, and the ghoul is like...
Which I hear is important in the game.
Yes, there's a whole game called New Vegas.
I believe
Fallout New Vegas, yep. And so the ghoul is like, hey, Lucy, you want to go find your dad? See, you want to find out why I know your dad, and you want to go find out where he is? Let's do that. And that's the end.
Yeah, it's funny because literally, as someone who isn't terribly familiar with the game,
me either.
I think this show does an excellent job of explaining to you without you feel thinking that you're missing anything. And I'm sure any of the references either just went over my head or I understood them. The only time I felt out was when they showed New Vegas, and I was like, "What's that?"
I was thinking that when I rewatched it, I was like, "Oh, this is the one place that kind of fucked it," because that's not. I don't think anyone sort of, there are iconic skylines. I don't think even the real Las Vegas skyline is something anyone can bring up in their head.
I can picture the casinos.
I was going to say, is it tall and bright?
Yeah,
There's an orb.
But here's the thing about Fallout.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, is it's a fictional one, no less.
It's an alternate history that forked off from our own in
which is
the
why
1950s.
We mentioned it in our alternate history
Yes.
blog post on the Tumblr.
So I'm a fan of the Fallout games, and in particular of the game Fallout New Vegas. That's possibly my favorite one. But yeah,
if you don't know the game, you don't know that skyline.
You don't know the skyline, and
there's a second one. Are we in Seattle? Fucking why?
It doesn't bother me as much because I'm assuming that New Vegas will be a setting for season 2.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah.
And they do
so I
over
think it'll come up.
And over the closing credits, they do actually, like, a lot of the imagery is related to Las Vegas in a more generic way that you're like, okay, I guess that was... But yeah, that's the one time, because other than that, what I kind of loved about this show was, like, how well it was written for both audiences.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because if you go in knowing the games, you know, like, all right, 9 vaults out of 10 are some kind of weird fucking experiment. So if you know the game, you're like, what's the deal with this weird triple vault, which is unprecedented? And if you don't know, then you get to discover, like players have in the past, like, oh, look at these little Fallout shelters. What a clever idea. Oh my god, they're all secret horror shows.
Hooray!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also, speaking about, like, the nods to people of the game, fans of the game, I found that, there's like a lot of little references, like the stim packs, like instantly healing you, basically.
Yeah. Magic meds.
And we
like,
get to see those in a couple of different uses in the show, too, because we see Lucy lose one, right? Goosey, Goosey
yeah,
McLean.
She gets a big old
Lucy
stab.
uses one, the ghoul uses one on the dog, and then she doesn't use a stim pack, though, when she meets Maximus again. She uses Rataway.
Yeah, she uses Rataway.
That's another game.
Anyway,
reference.
sorry, you were
But
saying.
And a lot of the other stuff is like inhalers.
There's just a lot of like little nods to the game that are, if you're watching it as a show and you're not really aware that it's a game, you'd be like, okay, stim pack, that's gonna heal you up, so that you can this grievous injury.
Yeah.
Yeah, but on the other hand, you're willing to concede that there's a 240-something-year-old dude walking around who's had his nose melted off his face and is still...
That's because he's held together by the mutations.
Yeah, I think that's where I don't think I understand the ghouls, and maybe if they're part of the game, that's
so the ghouls...
Why do they only lose their nose?
But first of all, the thing you have to understand is there's the ghouls, and then there's the ghoul.
Yes,
because Walton Goggins' ghoul is a very different ghoul than... every other ghoul.
But every ghoul has a lost nose.
Well, in the game... in the game...
Well, that's got to just be because the flesh...
In the games, there's two kinds of ghouls. There's feral ghouls, which are like...
Roger, Martha.
Yeah, like...
Martha.
When she's at the processing place with Mr. Snip Snip, and there's like a bunch of people in cages, and some of them are... Those ones are feral.
Yeah.
And then there's Roger before he gets his head shut off, where he's sort of his way to turning, but he's... So there really aren't two types of ghouls, there's just two stages of ghoulification.
Well, in the game, it's... I don't know that we see a lot of instances of, like, non-feral ghouls, who are basically just people.
Give you a list.
Oh, shit.
There are a lot of them.
What?
There are a bunch of ghouls that are... What's that guy I keep sending you pictures of?
Oh, I don't remember.
Fuck. Hold on a minute.
From 3.
But there's a bunch of them, and most famously John Hancock.
I know there's non-feral. I'm saying there's not any instances of non-feral ghouls going feral.
I
know there's tons of non-feral ghouls.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
That's what I meant when I said there's two types. There's the feral ghouls, and then there's just the regular ghouls that are just normal people, other than the fact that they have, like, they're really fucked up faces and bodies.
Sorry, I misunderstood, Jake. I'm sorry.
But yeah, so that's the two types of ghouls that we see in the games, and the feral ghouls are basically just zombies.
Yeah.
But the non-feral ghouls, you'll run into them and meet them, and you'll trade with them, and they'll give you missions and stuff.
But yeah, they do always seem to lose their nose. I think it's just because
I think just the design of...
Yeah, it's just so you know quickly. Like, they're just a ghoul. Because the problem is you come across so many people on the wasteland who are just fucked up for other reasons. I think it's just in-world shorthand. Like, if the nose is missing... Ghoul.
It just struck me as strange because it's like, okay, if that's the one thing about them that has rotted over the years, the rest of them is fine. Like, Walter Goggins still has all his teeth.
Yeah, well, he's definitely...
Maybe he has
hecking
dentures.
how.
He's one of the...
He's an actor, maybe.
Well, in real life, he definitely has dentures.
True. But yeah, like, I think that's the thing, is he's more put together than most, because some of the other ones you do see briefly in the background, like, they are a little more kind of rotting looking, which is normally the ghoul look.
Yeah.
One complaint I know from, like, the internet when 4 came out was that ghouls in general looked less gross than they had in previous games.
And much more uniform.
Yeah.
I actually read something the other day about how if you, like, stripped off, like, whatever hair or whatever they had, you pretty much have something that kind of looks like a proto-Groot. Like, I feel like John Hancock in particular has Groot face.
Yeah,
I kind of feel like they all have Groot face. They just sort of But at some point they were just disgusting monsters, and at some point they became things that like maybe they want you to want to fuck sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
They read Caitlin's fanfic.
But
Here's
Oh,
the
this
thing,
this predates even her. People wanted to fuck John Hancock in 4.
Here's the thing, okay? But this also isn't my thing. I don't usually think, well, okay, the Phantom of the Opera is kind of a... Listen, there's a weird intersection in my life where living dead person is kind of my thing. Gary Oldman, Dracula, fuck. There are so many undead people that I wanna fuck.
You got a lot more in common with Tina Belcher than you thought.
Oh, God. But yeah, where were we? Ghouls. But the thing is we don't really know what Cooper Howard's thing is yet. Like, there's been speculation that he's like an experiment.
He does say at some point that he has familiarity with the mech suits.
Well, that's because he was in
war.
the military. He talks about the fact that he fought against the communists in Alaska, and he wore one of the
T-45s.
Okay, and this is before the
way before
the
war.
nuking.
And actually, he brings it up. It comes up a couple times, but it particularly comes up when he first meets Bud Atkins. Bud, whatever. Bud. He's like, oh, and I used to work at West Tech. And he's like, yeah, I know all about West Tech. You're the people that made that fucking armor that a bunch of my friends died in because you fucking did it badly.
Now, folks at home who've been listening for a while, this proves how much she knows this show. Someone took years to learn Tony Todd's name. She remembers West Tech made T-45 armor.
I don't remember it's called T-45 armor, though.
Well, no, but you remembered West Tech and Bud Atkins. Like, the stuff you remember from this, it's impressive.
I've watched it like 15 times since we watched it the first time 3 months ago or something. I mean, I've watched it many times.
No, I know, but still, that makes you our resident Fallout the series expert.
Oh, that's unfortunate for everybody involved.
I mean, another game reference, which is kind of somewhat of a deep cut, I think, because I feel like so there's 5. There's more than 5, but there's 5, I'd say, main games that most people think of. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and New Vegas. But most people, I think, got their introduction to the game series probably with 3, which was a PlayStation game or came out for PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
1 and 2 were very different.
Yeah, they were CRPGs.
Yeah, they were like a
What's the difference?
CRPGs, they're defined by a couple things, but like the shorthand, like any of those kind of like 3/4 top-down like RPG games, you kind of
like Diablo sort of thing.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I would hate that.
And they were turn-based, possibly even. I might be making that part up.
I think the combat was turn-based.
Yeah.
But
yeah, you like kind of.
Oh, okay. I feel like I've seen that. Then did M used to play these? No, that was Borderlands, maybe.
Borderlands is a
no, but
not an RPG.
No, well, isn't it kind of? Isn't it sort of? It's not a sandbox type of thing.
It's like a shooter.
But isn't there this
not really? There's some very mild like character stats.
Oh, there's really none of this talking to people stuff.
No, there's talking to people.
But that doesn't necessarily make it an RPG.
When I think of an RPG, I think of it's like the thing that makes the game's interesting, and they even make reference to it in the show, is like the special system. And that was introduced with Fallout 3, where it's like you choose your traits and your strengths and you level up. Like, yeah, Borderland does have a leveling, and you do select like different powers and stuff, but it's not as in depth.
Yeah, there's like pre-existing like what kind of separates sort of a game with like a skill tree versus a game that's an RPG is like Borderlands has pre-existing classes, and the class kind of rigidly defines what your skill tree could be, whereas with an RPG you kind of have a much more blank slate. It's like a D&D or something like that.
Yeah, say like Fallout could trace its origins back to like Dungeons and Dragons, like that style.
Okay.
But then, obviously adapted for computers. But one of the things that I noticed that I picked up on is after the attack in Vault 33, one of the things that I think I don't remember why, but they mentioned that they were having an issue with their water chip.
Yep.
And that's a deep cut because the MacGuffin of the very first Fallout game, the reason why, in all of the Fallout games except for New Vegas, I think,
and 2.
Oh yeah, and 2. In all of them, you play as a vault dweller,
lone survivor.
And in 1, the MacGuffin is our water chip broke, and you need to go leave the vault and go find another one.
Damn.
And then obviously the water chip. There's more to it than that, and the adventure begins. But
It's like a JRPG, you just want to go farm some cattle, and then at the end you're killing God.
Yeah. So then
Fallout, it's I need a new water chip. Oh Jesus, I am helping save civilization.
Fallout, it's thou shalt be sidetracked by bullshit every damn time.
Yeah, exactly. Unless you're Norm.
Yeah, I think kind of the strength of the series as an adaptation of the video game, and this is kind of where I think the Bethesda people were originally not interested at all in a TV adaptation, because they saw the movie Doom, even though I have a soft spot for the movie Doom, and it's got Carl Urban, because why not?
Yeah.
They looked at that and said, that was a terrible adaptation. Which admittedly it is.
Which are both properties owned by Bethesda.
I was gonna say, it couldn't just be Doom, though. I mean, like, it's everything. Every adaptation. Like, recently I feel like they've been doing a little better with some things.
That's the thing, we were suddenly in the era where they finally know what they're fucking doing.
It's because the nerds who grew up playing these games, that is to say, people our age, are finally the ones sitting in the driver's seat and can give these things the deference they deserve.
That's
I
true.
think.
I feel like in the 90s, which is when there were a lot of video game adaptations that were terrible, Mario Brothers, Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat, oh my god.
There's, and a ton more.
Right.
Those were boardroom things. It was like, oh, the kids these days like Mario, let's make a game movie.
And then they put, like, especially with Mario, they put directors in charge who didn't actually want to make Mario. They wanted to make this insane cyberpunk film, which, like, maybe if they hadn't said it was a Mario movie, people would be like, this is weird, but I'm into it. But they tried to claim it was Mario.
If he wasn't Bowser, that Dennis Hopper's character in that could have become the leader of the smokers in Waterworld.
Exactly.
I mean, it could have been a Waterworld prequel if you had just,
Yeah.
But,
so meanwhile, Jonathan Nolan comes to the Bethesda folks.
Brother of Christopher Nolan?
Oh, that I did not check.
Yes.
But I do know that he's also the co-creator of the series Westworld.
Oh, no
that I didn't know.
So the Fallout folks were like, okay, yeah, we can be into this. And what they did was they had him create an original story so that it's not just following points from the video games, so that I think it's a little bit more accessible for people who don't know the games.
Yeah.
Which is kind of fascinating because it's the inverse of The Last of Us television adaptation, which follows that storyline beat for beat and is still accessible.
Well, I think the reason that was definitely the right approach for this is, of course, this is already a larger it's a larger pre-existing franchise, and the whole idea with it is your character is always a blank slate you can build someone into.
The Last of Us is a very specific character with a very specific path, even if there are side quests, which I'm sure there may be some. I don't know, I haven't played it.
No, that's a very linear game.
Yeah, that makes more sense then. Because because it's like, when it's a game, I feel like if it's not step by step, the thing that they're basing it on, and it was something that was so linear like The Last of Us, the people just get pissed off because it isn't what they wanted.
Yeah, I mean,
with Fallout, there's no way that you could have made an existing story that would make sense because everybody is building their own thing and making their own alliances. I mean, like, and there are so many choices to be made and different endings to these games that, like, people who, like, are fanatical about the games are already, like, speculating about what's going to happen in New Vegas, so much so that the creators of the show have had to be like, we're not going to tell you what ending is fucking canonical in the New Vegas game. We're just not going to touch it. We're not going to tell you what happened to the Hoover Dam. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Like, that's literally, like, they are so much not basing it on the games that they're actually saying, like, and by the way, we're not going to, like, tell you what the real deal is here.
I think that, too, also might be part of the reason that, like, Last of Us and this work better, is because Last of Us has a story, a very specific story that you can tell.
Yeah, and characters who are characters, not just your blank slate character.
Yeah. Fallout has, a world that's really well developed that you can put a story in. Super Mario Brothers was a fucking side-scrolling platformer. So, yeah, admittedly, making a story for that...
Doom was a monster shoot-'em-up.
Yeah, so, like, you had
There's
to...
no plot.
And Mortal Kombat. I mean, the story of Mortal Kombat... Yeah, but the story of Mortal Kombat is, like, it's a tournament, probably.
So, like, that, admittedly, is part of the reason those were maybe harder to adapt well. Like, with Last of Us, you've got a very specific, well-written story that is easily enough to adapt into a show because there's a good, solid story already there. Fallout has a good, solid world that is very, like, open to, like, make up a story. Another reason, too, it's a good idea not just adapt an existing game is then you have to make certain things canon, and nerds would have a shit
Although
fist.
I will say this. Counterpoint,
yes.
like to the point you just made about the depth of the story. Another very, very good video game adaptation is Twisted Metal.
Yes!
Does not, which like
That's true.
Twisted
That
Metal,
has
the game has no plot.
which the game is just drive around in cars. And
Yeah.
I
shoot
forgot
things.
that there
But they
was
have
a
great
Twisted Metal
characters.
game.
And-
Well, that's, I mean, a movie. That was...
It's a
when
TV
was
It's a
that?
show.
TV show. It's fucking
very
excellent.
good.
When was it from?
It's
now.
still got.
It's
I think they
season
ongoing.
3 is coming up.
When did
Yeah.
it start, though? Like, in the
Like a
last
couple
year
years
or two.
ago.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Anthony
I didn't
Mackie's
even know
the
that
lead.
existed.
He's so good.
Anthony Mackie. I know that name.
Falcon stroke Captain America in the MCU.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love him.
He's very good.
Tony Mac.
And
Of course.
uh,
I'm just kidding.
He's also in a pretty decent Black Mirror episode.
voice talent from
Will Arnett.
Will Arnett.
Yes,
in
and
there.
Sweet Tooth. Fucking
Yeah.
nailing
Oh, the
it.
clown.
The clown, yeah.
Who's the clown?
Will Arnett.
Arnett.
Will Arnett
Job.
is the voice of the clown.
Job, right?
Yeah, Job.
Batman? Lego Batman?
Yeah, I BoJack Horseman is
BoJack
my
Horseman.
first thought.
Yeah, yeah.
Every advertisement.
yeah,
Arrested
Reese's-
Development.
Yeah, a lot of
Reese's
Reese's
commercial
ads.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really does show up in a lot of advertisements.
Yeah, making
He's got
a
a great.
buck.
He's got a great voice.
But anyway,
does.
yeah, I do recommend that show.
Oh, it's
that's
really
that's a good
good.
example of
Yeah, that's
another
true.
property where they didn't really have a strong foundation of a story to
Yeah.
build on, but they still managed to cobble together a good,
Yeah.
compelling TV
And
show.
that one is packed with references too that I don't know if people who don't know the games would get most of them, but I think the style of it is so consistent and like fast-paced moving, which is why the Fallout one, its style is very specific, so I
Yeah.
think you're able to just kind of just enjoy the show
Yeah.
if you don't get the references.
So I do think though that having competent creators
Yeah.
that give a shit about
Yes.
the IP is the unifying factor in all of these. That like
Mhm.
obviously Twisted Metal is made with a lot of love. Obviously this show's made with a lot of love, and the people that do Last of Us, like the head
Yeah.
writer of the show, is also who wrote the game. So, or
Yeah, I
at
think-
least he was involved. At least.
Neil
I think
Druckmann.
the original voice actor of Ellie is the character's name. Has a cameo as,
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice.
that's cool.
as a character who we see.
Um,
Lots of nice little touches.
I think a lot of the voice actors had like little bit parts too.
Aw, that's sweet.
So yeah, I don't know. I think it's a really. I'm excited that video games as an art form, which were when we were growing up, were very much like not looked at as an art
No.
form, looked
No.
at as like brain rot.
Yeah,
But
something
now
to occupy your hands while you're
Yeah.
not doing anything.
It will be very interesting because they have started filming the live-action Zelda
Oh
adaptation.
boy.
I'm very curious.
What? They're making a Zelda movie? Why?
They made a lot of money on the Mario movie, so why not do a Zelda?
It wasn't live action.
No,
It was.
but,
It was.
CG.
Yeah.
Anyway, Fallout. That's what we're here for. So yeah, we were talking about like So Jake, you've kind of known it since 3, you said?
That was when I got into it. Although I had played in high school, I had played the first game.
Okay.
Holy shit, these are that old?
Oh yeah, they're like the first game came out like 97 or 98. I don't know.
Something like that.
Holy
yeah.
shit. Okay,
it's
so
actually
there's
based on an even older.
That's
there's a
true.
DOS game called Wasteland.
an older what game?
There's
DOS
a DOS game,
No shit.
called Wasteland,
I
which is not
love that. How
which
cool
is not like
that?
in the Fallout canon, but it was sort of like they made Wasteland, and I think there might have even been a Wasteland 2, but I can't remember. And
We
that-
talked about this not long ago. They actually did. They made a sequel recently.
Oh, okay, right. So
Oh, it's
it's a
recent?
different. It's not Fallout, but it's the same people that made it.
No shit. That is so cool.
Um,
But also, as a side note, then there's no way for me to play Fallout 1 and 2. Like
It's on Steam.
Yeah, you can have Steam. Fallout
They-
1
they-
and 2 are still available.
Yeah.
And they'll still play.
I wouldn't like them, though. If they're
I don't think
Diablo
you
style,
would.
I would hate them.
I don't think you would. I mean, it depends. They're challenging. The combat is totally
Yeah, they're
different.
supposed to be quite hard.
Is it like a, Oh, wait, you said it was turn-based.
The combat's turn-based.
Turn-based, so it's like, but it's like, it's not the turn-based like Final Fantasy style. It's the turn-based where you have a bunch of people on the battlefield where you met them and you have to like sort of strategery around.
Kinda.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I hate that.
Well, you like
I would
engage
not like that.
with a with a mole rat, and then
Yeah.
the mole rat bites you, and then you say, "I want to hit the mole rat," and you just click on the mole rat.
Well, I do like turn-based, but I wouldn't like this, I think. I tried to play Diablo once upon a time and I hated it. So
There's a
I don't
couple of
think I
those
would like
games
it.
that I really liked. Nyx was another one.
Yeah, I had a couple of false starts with the series, and the one it finally clicked for me, and this is Heresy Online, is 4. That's where I finally got how these games were supposed to work. And I went back and I eventually played 3. I played a lot of New Vegas, but never finished it.
Yeah, New Vegas is I think a lot of the Fallout kind of. So okay, so the story with is right. So that Fallout 1 and 2 were made by, I can't remember the name of the development company, but they were made by basically a small indie developer, and then that
Interplay,
that's right, which isn't that small because they made a lot of Star Trek games too.
Huh.
They might have just been the publisher. I don't know. But anyway, they produced it. It was a small team, and then eventually Interplay went out of business or got bought by Bethesda, which is a much bigger company. And
You might know them as the Skyrim people.
yeah, they do the Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, I forgot.
I don't know them as the Skyrim people.
Yeah, I mean that's their big thing. They do Elder Scrolls. They also own id Software now, which does the Doom and Wolfenstein games. So those are Bethesda.
No shit.
But they weren't the creators of those.
Yeah,
No,
they
no,
just
those
bought
are-
the
those are
studios.
also-
And now Microsoft owns them.
When
Yeah.
do they get their own theme park? And can I go?
Yeah, they should do that. They'd probably make a fortune.
I'd go to Fallout World.
But however, so they bought them, and then they're like, oh well, we're gonna take Fallout to the next, to the like current gen PlayStation 3 era as and build it on the same engine that they used for Oblivion, which was the Elder Scrolls.
Right.
And everyone was like, no, Fallout's a top-down game. You're just turning it into a shoot 'em up. So Fallout 3 came out. It was very well regarded, very well received, but a lot of the hardcore Fallout 1 and 2 fans that really liked the RPG elements and the dialogue trees, because that's the other thing about the games is they're well known for their creative and humorous dialogue trees, and like where you can, if you give your character low intelligence, you'll just like mumble things at people and not be able to communicate, and people will treat you like a dumbass. So the games are very cleverly done and cleverly written, and I feel like people kind of missed some of that in Fallout 3. And then they did New Vegas.
Missed it, meaning the developers didn't do it, or meaning that people didn't appreciate it at the time? People playing or people making
the people who were fans of the first two games felt that the experience in 3 was more of a watered down.
Yeah,
Okay.
less cutting satire, less cleverly written.
Fallout New Vegas, which was not developed in-house at Bethesda. It was developed by the company, I can't remember the name. Obsidian, who later went on to do the Outer Worlds games now. They went back more to like the even though it was the same engine and it was still like a 3D shooter, they kind of went back more towards the satire and the tone of the first two games. So I think that New Vegas was very, very popular with it.
Yeah, it's still like the big one amongst the internet.
And then 4 came out, and people really, like the hardcore fans really didn't love 4
They did not
because
like 4.
the dialogue was really reduced in terms of the choices, mostly because they voiced all of it.
Yeah.
So in the previous games, they didn't have any voicing for your character.
Oh, it was just whatever written is on screen.
Yeah, so so that's why there could be a ton of variety in the responses. So Fallout 4, it was more like...
Wait, so they gave what, the player avatar a voice?
Yeah.
They should have just left it off and given them more dialogue then.
Yeah,
That's
so
crazy.
that was one of the big critiques
not a
of
good
4.
choice.
But here's the thing.
But I like 4. I'm not
Here's
bitching
why
about
4 is game of whatever year it came out. You can have, so one of your sidekicks can be a Mr. Handy, which is like the
robot.
Dr. Robot.
Yep.
It has a little British accent, and you can put a derby on it.
Yes.
Aww.
I remember when you had the fucking robot with a derby, actually. I do remember that. Okay, so I have seen you play Fallout at some
A
point.
little bit, yeah.
A little bit.
That explains the casting, because I do
Yeah.
think
Oh my god.
my two favorite things from the show are fucking Matt Berry all the fucking time.
Yes.
Like, we see Snip Snip, I'm like, oh my god, I want one. And we see his actual human character, I'm like, oh my god, I want one. I love him so much.
Same.
I love when, like, the women, want him to do the lines, and he's like, hey, do you want to, and they're like, oh, God,
Oh god, no.
no.
I thought it must have been this most recent watch. I thought about how weird it must have been for the ghoul to be encountering a Matt Berry voiced Snip Snip at that place. I mean, he obviously knew the place was there, so he's probably dealt with him before.
Yeah.
But it just must be weird to be 200 years in the future and
it's
still
still-
hearing your friend's voice floating
Yeah.
around.
Well, he's also had
sometimes.
200 years to get used to it.
Yeah.
He seems very dead inside
True,
and outside and
true.
all over the place.
Yeah. So, but the characters, because we haven't focused on them too much yet. We got Lucy, the
Ella
kind of...
Purnell.
Yes.
As
Ella,
herself.
that's the other thing that also might have been making you drowsy, Jake, is you were hypnotized by her gigantic
Oh my
eyes.
god. She's
She is Gwendolyn.
Yeah,
She
she's
just is.
Gwendolyn from...
If
from
they ever
Star Trek.
live-actioned it, they wouldn't have to do that much makeup.
Yeah, because she's just an anime character,
It is.
really.
It is genuinely. Watched the whole thing. Every time I see this one, I do not understand how her eyes are that big.
I mean,
it
she's
is astounding.
very lovely. We're not like
Oh yeah, no, it's not.
shitting on her eyes.
No, but it's
No, she's beautiful, and her eyes are beautiful.
But it's
they
striking
are.
because
They're
you're just
huge.
how it's real. It's kind of like how what is it? Elizabeth Taylor, like her eyelashes are technically a
Genetic
it's a-
malfunction.
Yeah,
no,
mutation.
She has a double row of eyelashes.
yeah. A lot of people who get that, they don't grow in right, so they will actually end up scratching their eye. It's a real nightmare for
that
most
would
people.
suck.
But hers,
she got lucky. Hers
yeah.
just came in alongside the other ones. So,
And then
like,
people would be getting mad at makeup artists on
Yeah.
films, like, you put too much mascara on her. And
It's
they're
like,
like, we
that's
didn't put any
just her
mascara on her.
eyelashes.
That's how her eyelashes are.
Well, I
Yeah.
found it endearing that like all of Ella Purnell's characters end up with daddy issues. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, that just seems right for you.
yeah. But yeah, no,
she's a rock star in this.
classic sort of, again, naive vault dweller character has to go out into the wasteland and go like, oh, this is terrible.
I think my favorite kind of juxtapositioning moment of just how oblivious the Vault Dwellers like her are is she's out in the wasteland. She brings out her one tiny little deviled eggs, perfectly organized like case of perfect little deviled eggs, and she eats one and she tucks the rest away like she's setting a table.
Yep.
And it's just the most ridiculous juxtaposition that it's like, this is the contrast of the lives.
Yeah.
Still, I can't wait for them to be producing deviled eggs in that fashion, because I will be the first in line to buy a tin of deviled eggs.
Don't need to refrigerate them somehow. Sure, the chemicals in there are great. But then, of course, there's her brother, Norm.
Yes, I would hate for there to be weird chemicals in anything that I drink or eat, she said, drinking her Red Bull.
But then there's Norm, her brother, who we didn't mention in the intro.
Who is 4'11". He is a tiny little man.
And they always put him next to Chet, who is like 6'3".
8.5 feet tall. Yeah.
So it must have to be the director of photography on this show. But Norm's fascinating because he stays behind in the vault and uncover. He gets to be the like I said, the person who doesn't know Fallout, who gets to find out vaults are terrible, horrifying experiments.
He's our man on the inside.
Yeah, I remember when the show first came out, bupeople referenced that the Ghouls line about thou shalt always get distracted by whatever.
Sidetracked by bullshit.
Is kind of a goof on side quests in video games. Meanwhile, Norm kind of does his bit, and there was a meme going around like, wow, Norm really just said, I'm going to stick to the main plot.
Yeah, he didn't do any side quests.
In spite of Chet, trying really hard to throw him off, I feel like.
Yeah.
Chet's like...
Well, Chet just wants to live a comfortable vault life, damn it. And
his idea of a comfortable vault life is fucking his cousin, and then,
But that's normal for them.
Becoming...
Everyone's your cousin in the vault.
well...
And then becoming, the surrogate husband, father to Bert's baby.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Wife.
What I love, because, so, the big reveal, and
I remember Bert's name. What the fuck?
Yeah, seriously.
But that's because
really...
she says it a lot.
True.
During that one
He
scene.
said, yes, I
I am
Bert.
Bert.
We assume, by the way, that if you're listening to this, you've watched the show, and if not, you're about to be really confused.
And if not, it's been 45 minutes of us giving you very specific information.
Yeah. The 31s are just...
33s.
No, the 31s.
Oh.
Are straight up manipulators.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's their whole
Yeah, that's their whole point. So I think it is very, clearly she knew the baby was on its way. So she was like, I'm going to make sure I am with this guy when it happens so that he has to deal with it. I
I don't know.
I know, I don't think so. I don't think you can know when your water's gonna break.
If she was in labor, because you could be in labor for a while.
I don't think she was ill.
Why do you
I
hate
don't
women,
think the
Chris?
I
That's what
don't hate
wanna
women,
know.
I hate 31.
I thought they could just shut that whole thing down.
No, that's only when it's rape.
I don't see the evidence in the episode of that.
Yeah, I might be reading too much into
I
it
think
because
you
I
might be
know
reading
she's
too much into
from the past, but...
Yeah, I don't think she
The
knew.
nasty and the pasty.
But I do love when he's like, that is one wet lady.
Oh.
Her water breaks.
Oh, I hate that line.
I love it so much. I mean, I hate it too because it's cringy. If anyone ever said to me, that is one wet lady, I'd be like, ooh, I'm dry
Not
now.
anymore.
Well, we had a good thing going, but you ruined it.
No, I
So,
will say,
see you later.
Kate and I were talking about this.
How
Whoever
dare you?
cast Chet did an amazing job of finding a guy who looks like he's from a 1960s TV show.
Yeah.
Like, more than anyone in this show, like, even without the haircut, he has that, like, 60s leading man face.
Yeah, I've said that I thought he would be a good young Captain Pike.
Ah,
Yeah,
He's
like-
got big Captain Pike energy.
Yeah, he could definitely be an extra in TOS and you wouldn't blink.
No.
Whereas everyone else has, varieties of faces that feel both modern and older and stuff. But yeah, no, Norm's delightful. He's got a fascinating arc, because he's just this grumpy fellow where it lacks enthusiasm for literally every job.
And how are you enjoying that? I lack enthusiasm.
And then he uncovers the fucking secret of Vault 31.
yeah, and that's the next thing I love is the brain on a Roomba, which is very funny, and Bud got exactly what he wanted.
Yeah.
And deserved, frankly.
Well, it'd be interesting if we see this in the next season, but Bud had this big idea, which is insane and evil, but he's got the charisma of a dead fish. So it's like, clearly, he comes up with this whole big idea, and then they talk him into being the overseer brain in a jar.
I'm sure he was very easily manipulated.
Oh, yeah.
Because, you just tell him, if your big thing is you want to outlast, this is how you will outlast.
Oh, yeah, no, but
your buds will all be there.
Yeah, I'm not saying it was hard to talk him into it, but that's just, he's like, big ideas, man, but kind of stupid and ineffective, and it was definitely Barb who talked him into becoming a brain in a jar.
He seems the type that literally just wants people to, validate him.
Yeah, no.
That's all he needs.
He is the epitome of a sad little, management type. He is such a good villain.
Yeah.
You mentioned Barb.
I did.
Let's talk about Barb.
God.
Fucking Barb.
Fucking
Barb, she breaks my ghoul's heart, which obviously that's hard for me. But you get the impression, so she works for Vault Tech. She's she gets Cooper Howard on board to help them advertise the vaults. And
do the thumbs up.
Through her, well, he actually comes up with that himself. What if I did a thumbs up? Sure, Coop. You called him Coop. I've seen the show too many times.
Possibly too many times.
Nope. But and you think that she's cool, kind of, but then it all comes out that she's actually maybe the craziest one at Vault Tech, because she's hey, so it's episode 8, I think. I just rewatched it. I think it was 8. It was either 7 or 8.
Yes,
they have a big meeting and they're talking about their vaults, and they're talking about they need funding is basically what it sounds like. So they go to all these huge companies. Your Elon Musk's, your
Elon Musk wishes he was these motherfuckers.
Your Tim Apple, your whoever, Aaron Zuckerberg, whoever those people were back then.
They make a great joke about how you could lose money
on a casino,
and I guffawed hard.
Yes, that was definitely Donald Trump. Fuck you. They talk about making America great. They actually, right before they talk about him losing money at a casino, they mentioned making America great.
Oh, and they were definitely playing that string.
What's nice about that one's actually twofold, because the one that says that is Mr. House, who
is from New Vegas
and owns a casino.
I can't wait.
Fun fact: Rene Auberjonois in the game.
Yeah. Voiced Mr. House. Mr. House. I wish he was still alive, because he could play him for real, and it would be great. And then I would get to see Walton Goggins and Rene Auberjonois in the same room, and I would explode.
That's one wet lady.
That's one.
No, Ames, why?
You gotta be methodical.
When you get a blue one off, fuck me.
She's good. I love Ames.
Yep.
I love when Ames gets a little dirty.
Yep.
Barb. We're talking about Barb? What the heck fucking happened?
We're talking about Barb and how she basically
masterminded this whole thing.
The end of the world.
Yeah. And not just the end of the world, but the end of the world as a means of saving the future, which is crazy.
Creating a future of their own design, really, is what it turns into.
And she sells it to all of these rich fucking assholes as here's your chance to see what the best way to make a bright new world is. And they're well, and what's disgusting is how quickly they take to it. It isn't
it's
my
instant.
God, I can't believe you'd even... They're well, we could do some experiments on immigrants. What if we overpopulated one of the vaults and watched them kill each other? And it's fucking right away.
Yeah.
It's like
disgusting.
The CEO types in the fancy room in Squid Game. You've not seen Squid Game, have you? Damn it, go watch Squid Game.
I haven't either.
But they're betting on who's going to survive the various ordeals, and it's disgusting.
Well, there is a little shadow cabinet here, too, because before Barb does the pitch, she does look up at a window, you just see these weird backlit people.
I saw one person. Were there more?
There was at least 2.
Who do you think it was?
I don't know.
Do we know?
Apparently there's speculation. There's about, the Vault Tech overlords.
Interesting.
But then she drops the bomb, which is, what if we drop the bombs?
Hey.
You know? And it's like, holy shit.
They do a good job, though, of, like, gradually building up the fact that Barb ain't right.
Yeah, Barb's...
Yeah.
You know what it is? I think it's hard to remember the first watch because it was so long ago now. But I think when she tries to, like, trick Cooper into, like, thinking it's okay that they're not going to be able to take the dog.
Well, yeah, I was thinking of that
like,
scene.
oh my god, that's it. That's when you know.
Because, like...
She's a bad woman.
She doesn't really actually address his argument about freedom. She just turns it into, I'm trying to secure the future for our family. Like, she doesn't actually get to his point. She changes the subject, which is like a classic dickhead move.
I was gonna say, that's what all conservatives do. They move the goalposts and they pivot.
Yeah.
They don't want to actually talk about what you want to talk about.
Yep.
They want to talk about whatever it is that they think is their, like, selling point.
Yeah, and that's these past Vault Tech people. They're all manipulators.
Yeah, well,
the world ends and you want to know what you're going to be wearing? Yeah.
Yeah, we also have, not in that board, but we have in the boardroom, but we have Betty,
Yeah.
who's another Vault Tech. Now,
her being a piece of shit honestly bummed me out more than any other reveal. I liked her so much.
You liked Betty?
Well, I mean,
Well, like, because she was a little weird, but then she had that nice scene with Norm, and you're like, she's a
It
little
wasn't
weird.
a nice scene with Norm. She was telling him, yeah, you should kill these people.
yeah, I got.
It wasn't a nice scene.
No, Betty.
No.
Betty's-
Betty, the black
That's
lady.
the blonde.
No,
you're
it
talking
is
about.
not. I'm talking about the overseer.
She wasn't the one that told him to kill the people.
Yes, she does. She talks about how words matter and your father this. I know Steph does it too, but Betty...
No, Steph explicitly says your father do the right thing.
Yeah, but Betty also... All right, well...
Betty was, if anything, it made it sound like chastising him for potentially inciting violence.
Yeah, because she wanted him to take care of
Oh, you think it was a little wink wink?
It was absolutely
I didn't
a
get the
little
wink,
wink.
but-
On the first viewing...
She buried his mother herself. There's nothing...
Oh, no, by then you knew something was up
I'm
with
just
her.
saying that Betty is... Betty is on board for wiping out the Raiders 110%.
But the first time through, I think it was less obvious.
Yes, the
Just
first time
the fact
through, yeah.
that Betty got 98% of the vote made me
Yeah.
automatically
Oh, yeah, no,
distrust
that's
Betty.
when you know something's up. But the chat with Norm is before the election.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
true.
up until the election, I liked Betty.
Yeah, we didn't even see her canvassing. We see the other two
Yeah.
folks canvassing, putting up posters
Yeah.
and stuff.
Well, because then we find out about the conspiracy.
Yeah.
That they're all the overseers are from the other vault.
How many
Yeah.
people are in this vault? Because I was shocked after episode 1 that there were people the Raiders hadn't killed, and also that they'd somehow taken Raiders hostage when they were getting shot a lot.
Yeah, that is a good question. How did they take any of the Raiders?
I mean, they do have competent security people. They just
Do
weren't.
they?
Yeah, do
Did
they?
we see any of them in the battle?
Yeah, we do see some like Vault Tech guys doing well for themselves
Okay, see,
against.
I just saw nothing but Raiders killing Vault people
Well, and
in
'cause it's-
various ways.
And because especially at the end, you get there and it's like Moldaver and a couple of her buddies have a bunch of the people you recognize
Yep.
on their knees. Hank and Lucy show up and they're like, you got to pick a choice, you
Yeah.
know? And so that to me, I think feels very like, we have stopped everyone except these 5 people that I have on the
yeah,
ground
I
here.
assumed they'd won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a function of like the vault being bigger than we see.
Okay, I assumed it was like 50
Yeah, I think
people.
it's much bigger.
I know that they don't say exactly how many are in Vault 33 or 2.
32 is
But-
the one that the abandoned one.
Yeah, 4 they say was designed for 200 people at the start. So you assume a baseline of 200, and they probably try to keep their population relatively steady because you can't get too big because Vault.
Yeah, we did see a classroom full of kids that in Lucy's little "Marry Me" reel,
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, because I went and back when I was grabbing a screen grab, and it's like, okay, good, there is a bunch of children, which
Yeah.
means there must be a bunch more people if they've made these children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like they would get overpopulated immediately.
Well, yeah,
There's nothing else to do under there but fuck, is
They
there?
have to be very careful about how much fucking
They
there is.
should do what they do in the Silo series and install protection
They
in your body.
probably do.
Actually, Bud mentions something about their like genetic breeding something program.
Well,
He
wants
mentioned
to,
something to Norm about like basically about,
His plan is to breed a race of perfect managers because he's insane.
but you don't think that has anything to do with what's happening in 33 from a
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Who
They,
gets to make
again, they
babies
probably
standpoint?
very carefully track. You know, you're probably only allowed to have like one at a time at most.
1.7
there might be a lottery,
children.
who knows.
I see. Okay, sorry, Jake, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, so they cleverly, I think, had a different actress playing young Betty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want to give away.
Yeah.
But they did do a de-aging on
it wasn't great.
McLaughlin.
The top half of the face was
the mouth was
the
funky.
longer
strange.
it's on screen, the worse it gets.
Yeah, you're right though. From the nose up, he's good.
The nose up
the
looks
mouth
good.
Yeah,
was
like
fucked
initially I'm like, okay, that looks pretty good.
But then he talks, yeah.
And then it got worse and worse. And
Well, it's
I was
because
like,
they got
please make it
CG
stop.
teeth, right? I feel like teeth is
Teeth
what
is
always
hard.
looks bad in video games too. Like in general, like anytime they show the mouth too much, it's just like ooh.
It is funny because there is, you only see him briefly at the end of episode 8 or in the middle of it, at the end of the show. But he does call Cooper's house earlier in an episode, and it is funny because, again, on the second view, when you know it's Kyle MacLachlan, you're like, oh, that is so obviously his voice.
Yeah.
But the first time through, you don't catch it.
Yeah, I didn't catch it because I don't remember it.
Yeah,
So.
but I think by then, so we'd already been. What's the NCR lady's name?
Moldaver.
Moldaver.
Well, that's what she's calling herself in the future. In the
yeah.
past, she's Williams, I think they call her.
Well, either way, we'd already seen that she's a Pasto.
Yeah.
And I don't think they've explained
They have not.
how she is still alive, because presumably she's not 250 years old or something.
Yeah, she ain't a ghoul, so did she have access to cryo somehow,
Yeah.
like 31? Because, yeah, I mean, because there's cryo in this. We see it in Vault 4 and Vault 31.
Mm-hmm.
In the games, cryo is a very big part of Vault 111. But there's even a vault in 3 that has people in stasis. Actually, they're in stasis and also in sort of a Voyager-style, like, torture VR program, like that one episode with Michael McKean.
Thaw.
Yeah. So, I mean, cryo exists in that world. So that's the most likely explanation for her, but they never explicitly said.
Well, I'm shipping Moldaver and Rose because I thought their last scene was very cute when they were both dying or dead.
Yeah. Yeah, I assume they were maybe together when Rose was away from the
when
vault.
she escaped the vault and joined Shady Sands.
Yeah.
Shady
Sands.
Shady Pines.
Shady Sands is a location in the games.
Yeah, people were very upset to find out it had been corploded by
See?
Dale Cooper.
Hank, what?
Hank, he plays Dale Cooper in Twin Peaks, and I find it funny that he's Dale Cooper, and then this has Cooper Howard.
Be less confusing.
Yes, never. Also, both shows have people with an eye patch.
I'm randomly jumping around in my notes because we're talking about like the pastos and
Pastos.
and Barb being a bitch.
Anti-pasto.
And literally, like, one thing that when it takes me out of the show, I can blame either the child actor or the director.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna choose to blame the director because I bet you the girl didn't get very good direction. Because an amazing line.
Is it your thumb or my thumb?
Yep. Terribly delivered. It took me out.
I don't even remember.
From the first
It's
episode.
the first episode. Janie is watching the explosion, and Dad has just said that the thumbs up
she's
thing,
looking
that
at
she
the-
doesn't feel good about it right now.
And it's such a good line.
Is it your thumb or my thumb?
See, it's interesting because I will say, like, the delivery's not ideal, but I wasn't, like, the face she was making was really good.
Yeah, she looks
like,
scared.
she
I
had
give her
good
that.
control over her face.
Yeah, there was something in the line that it sounded too scared. Like she had already understood what was happening, and I feel like you wouldn't, like especially someone young, wouldn't quite understand what was happening, and there would be a moment of disbelief, and there was no disbelief. She went right to scared.
But they are, keep in mind, living in a world where, like, constant nuclear threat is hammered into you even as a child, which did happen during the Cold War here for real, so, like...
Yeah, she's
But we
probably
didn't
been-
get the journey. Because she's a child actor, and I can't blame the child actor for being young and not having experience. I can blame the director, though,
Yeah.
for not, like, helping her with what
Yeah.
she
So
what
that might have
journey
been
it should have been.
that might have been one of 40 takes, and that was the best they got.
Again, I will admit...
I'm not blaming the child.
The
still,
delivery never bothered me much, because like I said, I think, for me, I was just like, wow, that's a good expression.
yeah,
and that
she
kinda
definitely
caught
looks
me.
terrified, but I agree that it's bothered me.
When it takes me
A
out
lot.
of an episode and I'm thinking to myself what would have been better, and therefore I'm not thinking about the actual episode, then
No, it's
someone
fair.
got it wrong.
So she's Barb's daughter.
Barb and Cooper's.
Yeah. And Barb is the one that plans the end of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wouldn't
Why
you
does he
think
not
that
plan
Jamie
it-
would be in the vault first?
Yeah, I feel like doing it while.
Oh, that's a good point.
Maybe she does. Maybe she's even that sick that she doesn't give a shit about her daughter.
I mean, it's also possible that, like, it's her idea, but she doesn't necessarily have full control. We also don't know exactly, like, do they literally drop the bombs, or do
Yeah.
they just make sure to, you know, because, like,
they get in the way of the negotiations.
They get in the negotiations. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, the bombs might have still been launched by either the United States or China first.
True.
So, like, Vault-Tec was fanning the flames, but they didn't literally, you know.
And I actually brought up this problem with Chris once when we were talking about it, and what I said, like, I was like, I don't even understand why Cooper is looking for his family, because he has to know that his fucking daughter is dead. She was 5 feet away from the fucking blast. But as Chris pointed out, they have, like, Rad-X and all this shit.
If he got her to a vault right away,
right?
Yeah.
Load her
Yeah,
up
we have no idea how he even survived. So.
Yeah, right. Because we don't know what happened.
We know he's got his
just know
horse.
he got on a horse.
Yeah.
Shit, what's the horse's name?
The horse has a name?
Yeah, he calls it by its name.
Wow.
Why don't I get you up on river here? Horse
Oh,
feathers.
yeah.
It's not silver. It's
Roach.
The fact that you knew the scientist had, because I had no clue he had a name. In my mind, he has always just been Enclave scientist.
Who, Siggy?
Yeah. No clue he had a name. Completely missed it both times.
It's like Sugarbush or something. I think it actually might be Sugarfoot. I think it's Sugarfoot.
Sure.
Yeah, that's the one thing that they don't talk about what the Enclave is really.
Yeah, no, if you don't know
That's
the
another-
Enclave...
yeah, that's another one that they kind of didn't really... I mean, I guess you don't need to.
No,
but
you don't.
You just need to understand that it is
Another faction.
another faction. And
Yeah,
they're
and that
scientists.
Siggy doesn't know how to close his fucking door.
It's Sugarfoot.
Wow, well done. Yes, he does not.
He mentions the horse's name one time. I've seen this show too many times.
I'm impressed, I'm not gonna lie.
Listen, when you want to fuck a zombie, you learn about his things that he likes, like his pets. Roosevelt the dog and Sugarfoot the horse.
Eventually dog meat.
Dog meat.
Yeah, the other thing I think we don't get a ton on is what the deal with the Brotherhood is, and I don't know if I just don't know because I don't know the games.
Yeah, they didn't get into it too much. In this, we basically obviously they ain't the best people because we see them from Maximus's perspective, and they're shitty. Lucy does kind of give a summary where it's like they find pre-war tech to use for themselves to make sure no one else can get pre-war tech.
But I think that with the Brotherhood, I feel, first of all, they're called the Brotherhood, which I think has a religious overtone to it anyway. But
Brotherhood of Steel, specifically.
Yeah.
But I think also when the guy, like, there's a teacher, there's a class, Maximus is in a class, and he like whaps him with something, and he's kind of got like an abbot robe situation going on. Like, I don't really know anything about the Brotherhood beyond what is in the show, but there are like, there's like visual stuff telling me like, okay, there's some kind of weird religious organization. And then like when he talks about how like the way they tell him about sex and about your boner, your exploding dick, that whole thing, like, so they're obviously some kind of, I assume, Christian thing. I don't even know if they have it.
They're
word
not
Christian.
own religion.
Yeah, like it's steeped in Western traditions, but not explicitly Christian.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess my point simply being that although I don't know much about them from outside of the show, I feel like they do give you a lot of hints about kind of what they're about.
I think they get the point across they need to for the story to make sense.
And that they're fanatics. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the big thing, is that they're fanatical.
Yeah, like I think that's another one of like, they gave you just enough. We're probably going to find out more next season, I'd imagine. Because they're still going to show up yet again, bastards.
All Hail Knight Maximus.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they'll definitely show up. I hope. There's some great factions that we meet in the New Vegas game, and I hope some of them will show up as well.
Yeah.
There's like these people that are just like Roman themed.
They're coming.
Caesar's Legion.
Oh,
Macaulay Culkin's one of them.
Oh, that's great. I'm
Yeah,
really excited.
we know
I'm
this.
excited
We know
to see
that they're.
Macaulay Culkin.
I am too. Apparently, he's he's never played. I don't think he's played the games, but he admitted. I heard him saying in an interview I read about him saying in an interview that he did what I do, which is he watched all of this shit on YouTube. He watched Let's Plays of Fallout on YouTube to
binge
learn the
videos.
lore. I was like, that's what I've been doing. Cool. So me and Macaulay Culkin are basically the same person.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, the show Brotherhood, Maximus.
Yeah.
Maximus is fascinating because this poor bastard had a life. It was stolen from him. Impressionable child sees a giant man in a robot suit who's not gonna think they're cool, and then he's adopted by these fucking zealot psychopaths who treat him like shit. It's funny because Lucy is sheltered in a literal specific way, but even his understanding, while he knows a bit more about the world because he exists in it, is still very sheltered because it's filtered through the Brotherhood of Steel perspective.
Yeah, and he's just low man on the totem pole right now. Like, I think it was Thaddeus who says,
Yep.
like, that was me last year. But,
Yeah.
You get some new blood in it. He's like, oh, I'm no longer the one that gets beaten up. I can do some beatings.
Yeah, the Brotherhood of Steel is generational trauma, the faction.
It's the way of the wasteland.
And it's interesting with him, though, because you spend so much of the show being like, did he fuck up Dane's foot?
Well, and I kind of wish they left it ambiguous, honestly, because like it's explicit now that Dane did it
to
themselves.
himself.
Is Dane lying?
Well, we
No,
don't know because like when they had they had a private conversation.
Yeah, you're right.
And Dane was like, I was scared.
I didn't know they were gonna think you did it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I kind of wish they left it ambiguous because, I don't think Maximus is shown to be a particularly good or moral person.
No.
He's kind of shown to be an asshole, and like, he definitely, obviously
It's just that everyone else around him is a bigger ass.
Yeah,
exactly. He's like the least of the assholes of the Brotherhood, perhaps.
I think for me, it's like I agree that it would be better story to leave it vague.
Yeah.
But because he grows on me through the course of the show, I have to admit, finding out he didn't do it, I was like,
I don't
Yeah,
want to hate him because he's definitely one of the heroes of the show, and we're definitely meant to like him, and I do.
And like you said, you get that it's like he is, as far as Wastelanders and Brotherhood of Steel people go, he's one of the less horrible people.
The one exception, though, sorry, do you...
No, keep going.
The big exception for me with Maximus that really fucking bothers me so much is he reveals who he really is to Thaddeus 8 seconds after he brands him.
Mm.
That's so fucked up. That is such a fucking, like, it's like in Revenge of the Nerds when he fucks the girl with the fucking football helmet on and then is like, just kidding.
Mm.
And I'm not saying it's rape. It's obviously not sexual assault, but it's like, it's the closest thing to rape that we see in this show, like, to me. Well, aside from those chickens. Poor chickens.
No, I mean, I was going to say, if you really want to get into it, Lucy...
Oh, gross.
The sex was technically consensual, but it was false pretenses.
False pretenses. Gross.
So...
I fucking forgot about that. Then he wipes his dick on the curtains. Come on, man.
That was clue 1.
Yeah. We would think that she... Yeah. Well, no, clue 1 was him not knowing his sperm count and, like, not even understanding the question.
Well, you think maybe 32 is just a little less weird about it.
No. You wouldn't. You would expect it to be exactly the same amount of weird. But my point being that to me is that, like Maximus is definitely not a good person.
No.
He's trying to be a good person for Lucy, and that's nice. It's good that he's, like, trying to be a better person. But that scene with Thaddeus makes me so uncomfortable and unhappy. It's just like, what the fuck, man? You can't.
I didn't like when... No, this was Thaddeus. Never mind. Thaddeus put the dog in the freezer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, but it wasn't like an active freezer, I don't think. I think it was just a box.
Well, no, but I mean, there was no guarantee. He didn't know someone was going to find dog meat and let her out.
That's true. Yeah. But, no, it's true. You're right.
Like, he pretended to care. Like, oh, you can breathe. You got a little window.
No one's good. Thaddeus isn't good.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. It's like there are no good people, and like even if we think that Lucy starts out pretty good, she very quickly has to adapt. Like, and Siggy tells her, like, you're not going to like what you become, and when you find what you think you want, you might not want it anymore. And it's like
very true.
Yeah, Siggy knows what's up.
She does learn quick that chick in a tank top is badass.
That's true. That's one of the oldest rules in the book.
But yeah, I mean, like, Lucy is good. Like, she's probably the best
the goodest
person, the goodest person. Well, I mean, just the fact that, and I think that she really rubs off on Maximus, and that kind of, you see some growth in him because he's obviously got a crush on her.
Yeah.
And
that kind of growth.
I mean, here's the thing: vault suits do give you a charisma stat boost.
That's true.
That's why.
Do they really?
Yes. I forget if it's in all the games, but in at least some of them, yes.
But like, when she convinces him to give up the
fusion
core because it would kill everybody in Vault 4 pretty much, if not.
So like, he's becoming a better person. So I think that's nice.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of wish that they left it ambiguous.
Yeah,
with Dane.
I can definitely see how that is technically the better writing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, for sure.
Well, plus, like, in a Han shot first kind of way, like, that would actually have been a phenomenal first act for him to be a piece of shit who later becomes less of a piece of shit.
I mean, he does
to have done it to Dane.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
he
also,
does let that guy die, which no matter how much we hate him, that's not a nice thing to
No.
do.
that guy.
Oh, he's a gigantic piece of shit.
Here's
Don't get me
the
wrong.
thing.
That guy being Titus?
Titus.
Yes.
Okay.
That guy tries to send him into a cave
Yeah.
against who knows what with a fucking tiny little gun.
Mm-hmm.
And then, while asking him for help, tells him what a useless piece of shit he is. I would have let that fucking guy die too.
Oh yeah, no, don't get me wrong. Like,
Fuck Titus.
Fuck Titus, but
And they wouldn't have even been there to begin
If it
with,
wasn't
except Titus
for
is
him.
like, I'm bored, I want to go kill something. Fuck you, Titus.
very tangentially related. One of my favorite things in this is the fact that the kit bags for knights are just oversized golf bags.
Yeah, big
Yeah.
caddy bags.
Like, that's amazing. That
They're
is such a nice
huge.
touch.
I will say, Thaddeus makes it look much easier to haul around
He does.
than Maximus does. Thaddeus must have been a caddy in another life. Also, that's the guy from Gravity Falls, isn't it? It's Dipper. That's Dipper, isn't it?
What?
Is it not Dipper?
I don't know. I'll look them up while you guys talk about other things.
Pretty sure it's Dipper. It sounds just like Dipper if it isn't Dipper, but I'm fairly certain that that's Dipper. What I like about when Thaddeus and Maximus hook up when he thinks he's Knight Titus is that, like, Maximus is, like, you kind of see just how, I don't know if it's like that he's just not dedicated to it or if he's just really new to it or what, but Thaddeus comes down and is, like, so much more competent immediately than Maximus. He's like, oh, you left the ghoul alive. That's great because we can track his radiation. Oh, you did these things. Like, he seems to, like, have a much better idea of what the fuck is going on than Maximus. So,
Well, they do show that Maximus, he can't identify, like, the circuit. Like, he's
yeah,
not
a circuit.
he's not big on his studies.
Thwack.
He's just he's more. I mean, he's good with the armor, so he's a good fighter. But
So did they make him a squire just to get him killed off?
I think so.
I think
That's
that's,
what I-
I think
that was
that's
my
kind of what they
assumption.
do, because it also doesn't make a ton of sense to me that Dane would have been made the squire. Maybe I think the squires are basically just cannon fodder.
Yeah, the few that live get to become knights.
Yeah.
Also, no, he is not Dipper.
It's
He's
not
done a
Dipper?
lot of voice work, but he is not
Are
Dipper.
you serious? Doesn't he sound like him?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so mad. I could have sworn that was the actor that played Dipper. I'm so annoyed now.
It's funny though. There's Thaddeus is one of multiple, well, two that come to mind immediately, but I'm sure there's way more. But this show loves its foreshadowing. Because, like, when the old store runner meets Lucy, she's like, oh, wow, look at you, all 10 fingers, and then Lucy loses a finger. And early on, Thaddeus especially goes on a rant about ghouls.
About ghouls.
And by the end,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question about the doctor who gives him the ghoul medication.
the chicken
The
fucker.
chicken fucker, yeah. Is he a ghoul? Or is he just really gross people?
He just gross
Yeah, I
people.
think he's just
Really?
great
He's got a nose. Can't be a ghoul.
Listen.
It's like we said, shorthand.
I know, but
Yeah,
I've
no,
seen... Aren't there ghouls in the games that have noses?
maybe, I don't know.
I think he was just a nasty.
He does a lot of his own supply, so...
He's high on his own supply, would you
Yeah.
say? Okay, because I kind of thought... I think the first time I watched this show, I thought maybe he was a ghoul, and I think that belief has carried over, and it was
Wanted
only
to
during
fuck
this...
him? Oh,
No,
God.
no.
He is not a sexy ghoul. He's a gross gross
Yay,
ghoul.
yay. Yeah,
Turns out he's not a ghoul at all, so.
I don't want to fuck all ghouls, Ames, but I think I thought he was a ghoul, like on a
Mm.
first watch, and I think that I carried that with me and
Yeah,
assumed
no,
he was a ghoul.
He just messed
And
up.
well, it's too bad that he's not, because there's the first time that we...
According to the Fallout wiki, he is human.
Oh, well, just barely. Fucking freak. The first scene that we meet the ghoul as the ghoul, they bring a chicken with them, and they're
Yeah.
like, feral ghoul can't abide a chicken. And so the other day, Chris and I were talking about the chicken fucker, and I was like, is that what they mean about ghouls not being able to abide a chicken?
No.
If he had caught feral, was he just gonna pick that thing up and fuck it?
I want to know.
But that doesn't work because he wasn't a ghoul.
I know. Now I know.
I
See,
wanna
that's why I
know-
asked you that. Now
Yeah,
does it
yeah.
make sense, kind
It
of?
does. I want to know why chickens haven't mutated. A lot of other stuff has. We don't have monster
Maybe those
chickens.
aren't chickens. Those are salamanders.
Okay, but
Yeah.
that
Oh,
deer, the baby
salamander.
deer we saw was normal too.
Yeah, well, I was thinking of that, but there are rad stags in the game. I was
I've
thinking
heard
maybe
about
that's
rad
a
stags.
baby rad stag. When
But
they're
how do you
babies, it's
know-
not obvious.
Is that
they're...
true?
What?
That it's not it's not clear when they're babies, or you're
That's my
speculating?
guess. Speculating, yeah. You only
I
ever see
see.
adult ones in the game.
Because, like, for example, a Brahmin, which is a two-headed cow, it would always have two heads.
Yes.
There would be no, oh, it's a little baby cow, and then one day, plunk, another head just pops out of its neck. Like, I'm here.
No, rad stags are just kind of big, gross-looking deer things.
But I do,
I heard you eat them.
So we're talking about animals, Fallout games are well known for their many mutated animals, like the Brahmin and the
Gulper.
You really don't. I was just gonna say we don't see a ton of that in the show.
Don't.
I mean, I guess we do.
That bear thing.
We see the rad roach. We see the bear.
Oh my god, the roaches.
We see obviously the axolotls.
Yeah, the gulper.
Yeah.
I remember when I first recognized it as a fucking axolotl. It took me a minute. I was like, holy shit, that's an axolotl. That's fucking horrifying. I was so sad.
It was invented in Vault 4,
apparently. I love an axolotl.
But I am really looking forward. I really hope we get some death claws.
We do.
We're going to.
Oh, because those are they're so fucking terrifying in the games.
What's really cool is they're doing it mostly practical.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they've done a lot of practical in this season, too. Like, a lot of the flying with the T-45 armor, that's practical. They actually used, like, hover tech to make this shit happen, which is great. So they're trying to kind of Jurassic Park that shit, and the Death Claws are going to be as much practical as possible.
Cool.
The Gulper was practical. A lot of it, not all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting, based on the trailer, we're getting Death Claws, we're getting Red Scorpions.
Oh!
There's a voice that I am sure is probably a super mutant, but they haven't shown one yet. We saw a hand of one briefly as a little Easter egg in this, but...
I don't know. I had to ask Chris today what a super mutant was, because I'm not...
big fucking goof.
Actually, but speaking of
He says they're always green. They always green?
Usually. Sometimes they're gray-blue.
Yeah, I feel like,
But, well, that is one thing I remember, because we're talking about practical effects. I've been, vaguely aware they were making the show, and I was not paying super close attention, because on video game adaptation, Amazon Jonathan Nolan, whose work I was not familiar with. I just know his brother. And I was like, okay, I'll watch it when it comes out, but whatever. But then... It was either at the Game Awards or Gamescom, which is a big annual video game show in Germany. They had like a premiere, some of the cast came out, and a guy came out in the power armor. And finding out the power armor was practical, I was then like, okay, now I'm super fucking interested.
Yeah, they did as much practical as they could, which is, I really like that. I think that's, because it's going to give you a much better... response from the actors anyway. Like
those were mostly sets, not green screen. I guess Todd Howard visited the set one day and was like, he picked up a report that was like a prop, and he flipped through it, and there was a report in there. It wasn't just like, they wrote some kind of fake report. He's like, holy shit.
Well, they could have grabbed it out of the game.
I love
the
filming in Namibia, because I was looking into the Skeleton Coast, which is where they did a lot of wherever you see like those shipwrecks in the middle of desert. That's the Skeleton Coast. That's an actual place in Namibia.
No shit.
Yeah.
And it's bonkers because it's just full of these ships in the middle of a desert. And they just used it for the show.
Where was it? Namibia? What is it? Namibia?
Was it just like a lake,
Africa.
that dried up, or they moved the...
Oh, I didn't look that far. I was just looking at pictures.
How are you transporting these large ships to the middle of the desert?
That's an excellent question.
Well, I know like the Aral Sea, which is in the Soviet Union, is they have it was like a lake. There was a big lake, and the river that fed it got diverted for reasons for agricultural use or whatever.
That's
and
cool.
like basically over the last 40 years or something, the lake has been slowly drying up, and it's got stuff like that because it's just like these like coastal towns that were on the coast of this giant lake have just like now they're miles and miles, and there's like docks and like little boats. Yeah, just if you look up video or photos of the Aral Sea.
Wow, it's funny because now that you mention that, I did at one point. I was like in the credits. I was like, did I just see something about Namibia? I was like, no, there's no way.
Yeah.
But apparently, yes, I wasn't seeing
that
things.
Namibia team in the credits. Yep.
That's astounding. Yeah, the amount of practical I think really is part of what makes it so good.
Holy shit, that's so cool.
Yeah, so like the Aral Sea, you can see, like here's
just
that's what it used to look like, and that's what it looks like now.
Shit,
and like here's just some camels hanging out under a boat.
Oh, look at them!
They're so happy.
Oh.
Man, I the Gulper. It's funny because I'd forgotten that we find out that the Gulper was kind of a result of Vault 4. Because I remember when they zoom in and like it's got its little literal human fingers in its mouth to grab things.
Yeah,
it's like,
fucking.
why is it? What? It's like, oh god, I get why it has grabbers, but why are they human fingers? Oh, because it has human DNA. Jesus Christ, Vault 4. You fucking psychos.
Right, and When Chris Parnell's like, that abomination was my Uncle Peter.
he was the perfect actor for that role.
Oh God, I will say the one that was like the one thing in this show that's too much for me is when he accidentally drinks moldy coffee. I was like, that's fucking disgusting. I hate this show.
No.
That was.
I was
Not-
like,
not
oh,
when-
cool, that woman's giving birth to sharks. Oh, they're eating her. Ooh, sick.
Oh, grab
Then
the
he
moldy
takes
one.
a drink of moldy coffee, and I'm like, oh.
Aw, Snip Snip has a drawer of fingers, and he says
Fine.
it's low.
Yeah.
I love that too when he's like, he talks about how like his not collection, but his inventory is low, and he's like, ever since the war and my temporal whatever, that was weeks ago now.
I know,
Yeah.
it's so good.
At least a week ago. It's like, I mean, at least he's doing a lot of heavy lifting there, but he's not wrong.
I love when Lucy is like, oh, I thought you were gonna like sell me into sex labor, and he's like, what? No, that's disgusting. I'm just going to harvest your organs.
Matt Berry is mad.
Matt Berry is a fucking treat. Also, those fucking bitches were crazy. If fucking Matt Berry was like,
Oh.
you want to go in the hot tub later? I'd be like, yeah, I'm already there. Don't worry about it. Let's go. I would fuck Matt Berry in a hot tub. Truth. Call me Matt Berry. Just kidding.
What?
He's married.
So what was the deal we think with Vault 32?
The impression I was under was that 33 and 32 were basically the same thing, but then 32 found out somehow what the deal was, and they all kind of went nuts.
Oh, I assumed it was like a Naked Now situation.
Well, I was wondering if they were trying to do like a control experiment, and maybe one of them was like, I don't know.
Yeah, they don't say. So that's the thing with Vault-Tec. You never fucking know.
Yeah, I guess I just thought they went crazy.
Yeah, I thought
Because
so.
that's
Yeah, but
sort of
I'm more wondering like what was the point? Like why have the 3 vaults? Why not just have 31 and 33?
Yeah.
Or why
yeah.
not have more? Why just 3 if you're trying to seed management for multiples and one might...
Yeah, but Bud, it's a Bud thing. It's Bud.
Yeah, because they actually do establish that the 3-vault system is his thing in that last episode. I just watched episode 8 like today, so like that's pretty fresh. I mean, I've watched the show 100 times, but that's...
Speaking of Bud, I like the connection between him driving that little goofy car, and then
I didn't even
and then
think of
in
that.
the future he's a brain in a little tiny car.
That did not occur to me.
I like that little...
Did he have a
tiny
little
car.
goofy car?
Yeah.
Yeah, because when we first meet him in the past, in Cooper's there, he pulls up, like Cooper's got like a nice little sports car, and then Bud pulls up in this little rinky dink. It's almost like a
It's like a
motorcycle
go-kart,
with
yeah.
a
Is that the
shell
car
on.
that I like? Did you?
It's
is that
smaller than your.
It like
No.
opens this wise.
Is this the one with that car though? That did you guys notice that on Cooper's car when he drives his wife to work, it actually has a sliding in door. The door doesn't open.
It slides into the body.
It slides into the body, and it's a real car.
Mm.
Yeah, so yeah, Bud pulls up next to him.
Oh, okay.
When he's, but yeah,
It's a really small. It's
I did-
smaller than your smart car.
I actually
Very
did
goofy.
send you. I don't think you saw, but I did send you a video recently of someone highlighting that car in the game. I forgot it was in the show.
Oh no shit!
But yeah, it definitely, and like I definitely feel like that was a deliberate gag
No, definitely.
to have him, because it's got like a little bubble
More
on
foreshadowing.
it. That he has to open it like a
Hatch.
hatch on a.
All right, I'm gonna look it up.
But
'cause I
again,
don't remember seeing this
that's
stupid car.
in Fallout 4. That
Oh, yeah.
the wreck of that car too. So they
Yeah,
didn't have to
definitely.
make it up for
Oh
the
my
show.
god!
Yeah.
Oh, it's even blue. It's even blue, and his little brain
Oh,
thing
yeah.
is blue.
Holy shit!
That's very good.
Fuck. That's a
This is
subtle
Badass's
one.
Little car.
Yeah.
And that's his brain. That's
God damn.
also, I think this has got to be some kind of vanity sizing on his brain. There's no way Bud had this big of a brain.
Well, it's swollen for all the years inside the goo,
God, probably.
or it looks bigger because of the glass in the dome.
God, what a terrible little car. What is it? Where can I get one?
So speaking of blue, just tangent, but
Oh my god,
one of
it's
those.
so tiny. Oh, like you were saying, the whole top
Yeah.
of it is a gull wing.
yep.
How
The whole top has to open.
have I watched this whole show 20 times and never seen this? This is terrible.
But
Wow.
Oh, because the ghoul is in the forest.
The
Yeah.
thing is I was gonna
Yeah.
say if Cooper is in the scene, don't expect me to notice anything else. But
he's not in ghoul form.
Doesn't matter.
How do you feel
No,
about
it doesn't matter.
older, younger, I guess.
living Cooper.
Alive
here's
Cooper,
the
with
thing.
nose.
I I definitely prefer him as the Ghoul. It's actually really funny. If I could share a moment from my real life, a friend of mine posted on like the Facebook about like, I don't understand the big deal with Walton Goggins. Can somebody explain this? And another friend tagged me and was like, I think Caitlin can.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. I was like, I cannot explain the Walton Goggins craze. I was like, Walton Goggins is... I'm sorry, Walton, if you listen to this, but, like, you know, he's kind of a weird-looking dude, and he has really bad hair, and for a while he had really bad veneers on his teeth because he needed new teeth. And when they first... I wonder if he got a full set of, like, permanent dentures, because what they do is they'll give you a full set of big chiclet tooth shits before you get the real deal that you walk around with for a while, and for a while he had very obviously fake teeth. I guess he's got some rizz. He's got a good body. Like, I have seen him almost completely naked, because he's been everywhere now. He was on the cover of GQ or some shit in, like, a little Speedo. So he's built. I mean, he's definitely taking care of himself. I just think he's a weird-looking dude. He's not for me. But, you know...
Must be the nose.
You put him in some...
lack of nose.
You put him in some zombie makeup, and I'm like, fuck that zombie.
But yeah, one thing I did love, though, someone who even before I successfully played the game was in love with its aesthetic. Just this... the fact that the color scheme is based on his, like, cowboy costume was just this fun little, like, oh, wow, it has an origin! Yeah!
And when you see him actually as the Ghoul, he's still wearing his cowboy shirt under the duster.
It's very faded, but it's clearly
and
there.
You can barely see it. I mean, you barely ever see it. I noticed it because someone on the internet pointed it out. Mm-hmm. How I feel about Cooper, though, because that was actually what you asked me. I think I love Cooper. Cooper really loves his wife. Cooper really loves his family.
And the dog.
Roosevelt. But yeah, he really, would do anything for his wife. We watch him do things that are definitely against his normal, how he would do things for his wife. And he's even willing to put up with some of her Vault-Tec bullshit. You know, that's what I think about Cooper. I think he's a really good family man. I think that he, has a moral, a strong moral...
Yeah, he has a whole scene where he says, why do I have to shoot the guy in the movie?
Yeah.
It's like, because that's the way the script is written. You understand that,
you know what
right?
your job is.
Your job isn't writing the show.
Yeah, this Cooper Howard is what's wrong with all the people that stay to talk backs at plays. Why did you choose to swear so much?
But his point is that this is a character he's played before, and normally... he would just arrest people.
Is his point that it's a character he's played before, or is his point that
no? He literally says, "Can't I just arrest him like I did in the other movies?"
Like I usually do.
Yeah,
I don't remember him saying anything about other movies.
Well, I mean, if he says like I usually do, that implies.
Well, he's
done it before in
I
pictures.
assumed that it could imply earlier in the film.
Well, either way,
also that in general the characters he plays are not the type of characters that kill the guy at the end. It doesn't necessarily speak to me of it being the same character.
Yeah, but he talks about the writer, so I think,
Fair enough.
I think it's a fair enough extrapolation.
All right, fine, fair enough. I'll accept it.
It is funny, though, that in the final edit, he calls the guy a commie, and it's like, they didn't have commies in the Old West, showing how blatant the propagandizing is.
Ancient West.
But, yeah, and that was going to be another thing I wanted to mention. So it comes up in the first episode, I think, and if I may have missed it in a later episode, that it comes back up that was Cooper blackballed for being potentially a communist?
Yeah, so that's the thing is clearly...
Right, they call him a commie at the birthday party.
They call him a commie at the birthday party, but I remember that coming up again.
That thing is, that clearly,
that's because he goes to Moldaver's little commie club, right? Because that's why his friend gets blackballed, is because he starts going to... Yeah,
well, I think the impression I'm under is that, there's a gap that we'll likely see in Season 2, because the last we sort of see of him in 2077 is listening in on that might be 2075 or 6. Anyway,
right, sitting
he's
in
listening
Barb's
in,
office, listening into the big situation.
So there's clearly some sort of gap between then and the start of the season.
He gets radicalized.
And at the start of the season... Well, right. I mean, right then, But at the start of the season, they're divorced. They mention that he's doing the work he's doing
for alimony.
because of alimony, and
I imagine we're probably going to see more of the past in Season 2, where we see him becoming more openly sort of against Vault Tech, so they brand him a communist, and he divorces Barb and all this other stuff. And
Yeah, that must have been wild too. Like, how do you extricate yourself from that marriage without her just having you killed? Because he couldn't be like, well, I know that you plan to blow up the earth.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, and maybe we'll never know because it's really not that. I don't feel like that is important. But the fact that he's still looking for her is surprising. Like, I get wanting to find Janie, and maybe he figures you can't find Janie without finding Barb.
Presumably.
But he doesn't say, at the end of season 1, he doesn't say, where's my fucking daughter? He says, where's my fucking family? And that, like, just makes me wonder, like, after 200 years, you've decided you're not angry at your wife anymore for destroying
Oh, no, he's still
everything in the
angry
world?
at her.
Maybe he also still needs Roosevelt.
Yeah, he wants to get his daughters to safety, and he wants to fucking kill Barb.
Does he euthanize his dog?
Dog might just not survive the bombs dropping.
No, but I'm saying, like, I feel like at one point I got sort of a feeling that maybe he had done it. But I don't know if that's born of anything real or if it's just me. Like...
No, you're just, I think, because we do see him with Roosevelt at one point, but they're just chilling.
Poor Roosevelt. Of course, he wouldn't still be alive.
That's
years
any
later
consolation. Anyway. As far as I know, dogs can't ghoulify.
One of my favorite things, I mean, like, this whole series, but when after he, like, knifes poor dog meat, it's so sad. And poor Siggy, like, like, he's like, okay, my leg's just been shot off, I'm gonna die, and this fucking guy just killed my dog. As far as he knows, his dog is dead.
That's true.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I too would swallow a cyanide capsule if my dog was dead and I had just had a fucking corn chipper fucking destroy my leg and put a fake one on it.
Jim's limbs.
But Jim's limbs. But I love fucking what's her name? Not the black lady who shares who's like I assume the partner of the woman at the store. What's her name?
Ma-June, I think might be the sign.
I think Ma-June is the white woman. I think she's.
Oh, you mean what's the name of the woman that lives with her?
Yeah.
She shouts her name so many times. Like,
is it Barb?
It might be Barb.
Isn't that weird? Well, anyway, when she's like, we have a bunch of fake legs under the defibrillators. They weren't under the defibrillators. You always move things without telling me. This is my time to eat my beans.
Very classic, old couple that's been together for 1,000 years conversation.
I just love
argument,
Barb.
rather.
But one of the things that I love in this is when the ghoul, like, uses the stim pack on the dog. And his delight about the dog, like, it's interesting because, like, you go from Cooper Howard, who's like, I don't want to shoot this person in this film that's a fake thing, it's not real life, to the ghoul who fucking obliterates the 3 people that dig him up and then half of a fucking town. But he's still... That's, like, his humanity. Like, up until that point, like, he's just a fucking monster who just kills everybody. But then we get to see him have this moment with this dog. And even though it is, to some extent, to his own, like, particular set of motives to, like, use the dog to find the head.
Yeah.
Or the guy. They don't know he's a head yet. They just know he's trying to find Siggy. Like, it is kind of a little piece of humanity that's left. And then you kind of see, like... He kind of goes from, like, killing with a smile to killing with, like, sort of a begrudging disinterest. Like, by the time he gets to the president's office, the president of the government, when he, like, dispatches his 2 guys, there's no, like, exciting bravado at that point. He's just doing it because, I don't know.
It's what you do.
It's, I'm interested to see, like, how much, like, how they're gonna change, how much more, like...
Well, especially now he's gonna be with Lucy.
Because Lucy...
She's giving off her fucking Vault radiation.
Well, but the thing is, though, is she's already started to turn into something different, too, though, you know? Like, she's already, 6,000% more vicious than she was. So, but obviously still one of, like, the best people in the waste. So it's interesting to see how the 2 of them are going to, like, change each other in their little, road trip to New Vegas.
Yeah.
And we will find out pretty soon.
Yeah.
I'm excited too because it looks like Dane is going to play a much larger role this season.
Like Dane.
Dane's been going around on like some of the interview circuits I've seen. So it sort of feels like Dane might get slid. Actually, you know what it's probably going to be is it's probably going to be Lucy and the Ghoul and Dane and Maximus. So you kind of have to, but like because it's not like a book where you can read their thoughts, you need to have someone for them to talk to or else you lose it all. So Dane might kind of become the de facto sidekick to Maximus.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, especially it does feel like Dane, like at the end, is kind of trying to, like we were saying, prop up Maximus.
He's leveraging. He knows.
Yeah. Well, I think he'd probably rather have Maximus in a place of authority than any of the fucking psychos in the Brotherhood.
That's the thing. I think a lot of people maybe just a lot of people on the surface in general are sociopaths.
Oh, they are.
I don't know if I think Maximus is a sociopath. I'm not sure. Like
I think the Brotherhood has tried to make him one, but it's not necessarily sticking.
Yeah, it's not taking. Yeah, and that's so I think that's the difference. Is I think that a lot of people that like make it up there are like violent sociopaths, and I think that like Lucy's definitely not. I think Maximus, despite the brainwashing, I don't think he is.
Yeah, it didn't quite take.
But the ghoul's not going to yawn if you yawn. I'm just saying, he's definitely broken.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Because there've been a couple trailers for season 2. Like so we've seen Death Claws, we've seen. Apparently, the Brotherhood now has 4 of those fucking airships. So that's gonna be something.
I'm excited about the Death Claws.
We're gonna have at least one Brotherhood elder show up.
Oh yeah, right. What's his name? Right?
Kumail Nanjiani. Apologies if I'm mispronouncing his surname. But he's got the big coat that the elders usually have. They're big wigs in the Brotherhood. So we might find out more of how they work next season too.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like more. I would like more on that. I thought also this is just a thing that I thought was great that they handled really well and did really nicely in the show. When Lucy finally gets to Moldaver and her dad, and like they've got the dialogue happening where Moldaver is telling her what happened, and they've got Hank like telling her not to listen to her. They do a pretty decent job of like not doing too much overlap. It feels a little stilted sometimes, but the part that they did really well in that is the reveal about her mom.
Yeah.
Because they actually do foreshadow her mom, too, or at least what happened to her mom, kind of, because, like, Siggy tells us when we meet him, like, because Lucy's kind of like, well, what do you know about me? And he was like, well, I know that your primary, like, grain is corn, and I know you've got, like, a projector that looks like
Nebraska
or something, and all this stuff. But Lucy keeps having flashbacks that we think are in the vault.
Yeah.
But she says, like, if you can believe it, I even thought I felt the sun on my face and da-da-da. That's because for a minute she wasn't in the vault, right? Like, they escaped. Her mother took her, and her brother, I guess, and they escaped for a minute. And she somehow forgot that. She must have been really young.
She said she was like 6.
She wouldn't have forgotten that, then I don't know how that... Unless her dad, like...
Maybe they gave her some kind of
vault tech stuff.
I would be curious to find out, because, like, once you're 6, you pretty much have those memories. It's like, before 3, you don't remember things much, but...
Yeah, but
after 3...
something major, like leaving the vault, I feel
Yeah.
like.
That
you're
would stick.
You're first actually seeing the real sky and the real sun.
Right, unless the events that followed were so traumatic that it just, like, damaged her, like, utterly, which could be. But the fact that Moldaver has the ghoul that is her mother... And the thing
That's a little weird. It's like, why didn't you put that poor woman down at some point?
And the reveal with the necklace and shit, and
I melted into
her.
her.
Oh god, I was like, the first time I watched it, I don't think I was nearly as upset. But man, in subsequent watchings, like, I have been brought to tears by that because it's just so fucked up. Like, it's fucked up anyway. It's fucked up that Hank, like, also as a side note. At his little fucking, like, cryo bay, it says Hank McLean, executive assistant. They gave Hank McLean, executive assistant, the power to nuke a fucking entire town?
Well, Vault Tech wants the surface to be clear for their way.
Well, and
That's
also
ape
he
shit.
was,
Yeah.
he had 200 years of learning or whatever.
He did? Because wasn't he in cryo for most of that time?
Yeah, but that was the whole... That's what I don't quite get about Buds, is that the idea is that, 200 years we'll be able to train really good managers, but they're just in cryo that whole time, so I don't know.
I think the idea is, like, they're thawing them out piecemeal, and that they sort of teach the next generation.
Right.
And it's
exactly.
ongoing brainwashing.
Exactly. Because the time is the enemy of good management and whatever. It's
The buds are there to turn the not cryo people into good little Vault Tech soldiers without them realizing that's what's happening.
Even so, giving an executive assistant that kind of power, it's crazy.
Yes, it is.
Let him book some flights. Not that kind of flight. That's not it. But yeah, I thought that's fucking crazy. And
that must be what's kind of weird for some of these folks. It's like, they all getting thought out at different times. So, like, they were all, young together. Meanwhile, now, like, they thaw out the blonde and Hank and Betty are old. It's like, that's weird.
That actually, I will say that was one reason that I was annoyed by young Betty not being played by the same actress as old Betty. I get why they did it. Old Betty is kind of, chonky and stuff.
Well, also,
They were trying to give
that
you
would have been given the reveal too early, I think.
It's the last episode.
Yeah, but I think they really wanted the Kyle MacLachlan reveal.
Well,
so I guess they could have staged it.
The Betty one's much more subtle.
Yeah.
I just think that it's like... Betty is such a common name that I don't feel like it's much of a reveal as it is, and she doesn't look anything like her. If anything, she to me looks more like Barb, but that could just be because her style is more like Barb's than Betty's. Like
she has the same hair color though.
As
the young and old Betty have the same hair color.
Oh, do they?
Very distinctive, sort of burgundy.
I mean
nice. Auburn.
Auburn, yeah, that is a nice color. Well, anyway, I didn't notice that, but I don't know. But yeah, that was annoying to me. But that's okay. I mean, they do what they gotta do.
My nitpick, as I said to you on the way over, is that Cooper remembers in the final episode that there's a flaw in the welding on the power armor that he didn't use when he was fighting Maximus.
He was too busy spitting out annoying one-liners to remember about that at the time.
Yes, exactly. Final thoughts from other folks? We've been kind of jawing for a while.
Dude, it's been all me. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. I kind of figured this would be a lot of you, so that's fine.
That's great.
You're the resident expert and super fan.
Yeah, but I never have anything valuable to say, so this was a terrible fucking plan on your guys' part.
Nah, it's great.
It wasn't my plan. My plan was nuke the planet.
Well, so in the which Fallout character are you? All right, Ames is Hank.
Barb.
Oh well, maybe a little bit of both.
I'd like to be a courier that doesn't get shot in the head.
Yeah, but then you get to have a really fun adventure.
That's true. But am I a synth?
I have no idea what's going on right now.
Video game shit.
Video game nerd shit.
Final thoughts?
I got nothing. I really enjoyed the show. I look forward to the next one.
Very soon.
Same. Sorry, I ran out of notes like an hour ago.
Fair.
Well, I think we can wrap it up then.
I think so.
So thank you for listening to our Fallout coverage, and maybe when season 2 is done, we'll think about doing another one at some point. But we do encourage you to watch it. It is on Amazon, so kind of sucks, but what can you do?
Oh, God gave us the Pirate Bay for a reason.
There you go.
Or whatever replaced it.
Yeah. So watch it however you feel comfortable watching it, either giving or not giving your money to Bezos. In other news, next time we'll be getting back to our regularly scheduled programming, where we'll be talking about Star Trek The Discovery, Season 4, Episode something.
But to connect.
Connect the butts. But that'll be next time. Until then, you can catch up with all of our back catalog of episodes about Star Trek and other properties on our podcast. You can subscribe on Apple, Spotify, other podcast things, YouTube, anything, or SoundCloud.com, SHB Podcast. You can also get our blog, lots of exciting stuff there, SHB Podcast. That's Tumblr, or you can go to shbpodcast.com. You can find our Bluesky on SHB Podcast on Bluesky, and we're always on Facebook. And you can also just send us an email, I think. Probably. I don't know what the address is, but, you can find it. Anyway, we'll see you next time. My name has been Jake.
This has been Chris.
This has been Ames.
And this is always Caitlin.
Okie dokie.
If I had known, I should have known. And if I had thought about it, I would have written something for this. Or at least had a concept.
Yeah, just say war never changes. The kids will get it.
War never changes. Look out at this wasteland. It looks like chaos. That's my ghoul impression.
Wow.